So this is pretty remarkable. So, as you guys know, Hillary Clinton has gone after Bernie Sanders for the trillionth time, this time saying that his supporters didn't do enough to unify in 2016. She's at this point just a rotten old lady, a rotten old witch, if you will. She won't stop whining, blaming other people for her loss. It's incredibly annoying and very, very frustrating, especially at a time when we're in an election, right? We're actually going into an election. The Iowa caucus will be held today. And so it's just kind of like, okay, what are you doing? What's your problem? Now, you don't expect to see this on mainstream media. But on ABC News, Yvette Simpson, who is a contributor for ABC News, absolutely stunned.
Who needs enemies with friends like this, George? I mean, we're talking about Donald Trump. Maybe arguably in 2016, we didn't know what we were getting. Anybody who is attacking, particularly someone who's not running, and as far as I can tell is not acting as a surrogate for any of the candidates, who is attacking an active presidential candidate rather than attacking Donald Trump is a distraction. We have all committed as a progressive movement that if Joe Biden is a nominee, if Mickey Mouse is a nominee, we're going to all come together and kick Donald Trump's butt. So help me understand why Hillary Rodham Clinton is talking about an election that already happened and disparaging a candidate who right now is our front runner. And let's be clear, the DNC sets the process. So he has to go through the process, and if he comes out our nominee, he should be supported by all of us. That's the commitment we have to make. The reality is if you take Elizabeth Warren and you take Bernie Sanders and what they're building, they're talking to a part of our base that we should be talking to all the time, and we rarely do. And he's getting them fired up. He's talking about the things that matter. He's not Donald Trump. He's not talking about separating us. He's talking about bringing us together, providing health care. Oh, let's hate the guy who wants to provide health care for everybody. He's trying to provide education for free for everyone. And so I think that message is going to resonate, and his base is very diverse.
I don't think there is any chance.
So that right there was absolutely amazing. She really hit on virtually every single point that you could possibly want someone to hit on in terms of talking about Bernie Sanders on mainstream media. Obviously pointing out, I love at the end where she points out, like, it's so hilarious to me that it's like, people love to compare Bernie Sanders to Donald Trump in every way except for the one way, which is that he's a populist. But they seem to compare him, and it's like, oh yeah, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders are the same. Let's hate the guy who wants to give us all health care. It's so laughable, especially when you look at the vitriol that comes from these Hillary Never Bernie folks. And so, I just find it to be absolutely hilarious, because it is absolutely hilarious. She did a great job there of explaining basically, because it's hilarious to me. So Hillary Clinton attacks Bernie Sanders. His supporters respond, his surrogates as well as his supporters respond to Hillary Clinton, and then they act as if they're the victims or that Hillary Clinton is the victim. Hey, motherfucker, you just took a shot at Bernie Sanders. The people who are defending him are responding to your attacks. What kind of privileged-ass white lady are you to where you can shit on somebody, and then when somebody responds and claps back at you, you get to play victim? What? How does that work? That doesn't make any sense. And so it's so frustrating to see this. They're playing victim when they're the ones taking shots at Bernie Sanders. And why is she doing this? Why is she polarizing the race? Why is she even giving her opinion in this way in this race if she's not backing anybody? Why is she trying to purposefully torpedo the Bernie Sanders campaign? How does this work towards unity? And they don't want to talk about that. The Hillary folks don't want to talk about the unity stuff when it's a corporate Democrat who does this bullshit. It's only when they want to smear Bernie Sanders' campaign. And she hit on literally every single point that I could possibly think of. She's completely correct. And it's awesome to see this on mainstream media. And I had to show it to you.